47 Great Northern Service to London King's Cross.
Have you ever come across a deal that's just too good to turn down? Well, that's exactly why I'm here at Stansted Airport. This video is brought to you by Squarespace, which is an all-in-one platform to build a beautiful website and run your business. So today I'm heading to Boston in the USA, and the best part is it's only cost me £37.50. So essentially this is what's known as an error fare. That is, somebody at the airline has messed up, sold this flight for a ridiculously low price. This particular one is a fare from Barcelona across to Boston in the States, with stops in Zurich and Montreal, and it's a return flight that's cost a total of £55. I'll be using the return later in the year for another flight that I've planned to the States. Of course, I need to get to Barcelona, and for that one, that's why I'm here at Stansted today, to take a cheap Ryanair flight for £9.99 down to Barcelona, making a grand total each way of £37.50. You can't beat that. Now, of course, it goes without saying that the airlines really don't like people finding out about these error fares, and as soon as they go public, they're usually shut down within a couple of hours by the airline. You have to be quick. As soon as you spot an error fare, click the button, book it, and sort the rest out later, which is kind of what I've done with this one. Now, of course, even if you are lucky and manage to bag yourself one of these really cheap fares, there's no guarantee that the airline isn't just going to refund your money and cancel your ticket. It does happen quite a bit. Until you get on the plane, there really is no guarantee that you're going anywhere. There you go, buddy.
No worries,
Have a nice
Cheers,
flight.
thank you. Cheers. Hello. Hi.
Excellent, thank you. Thank you.
Of course, that does mean that until I get to Barcelona, I've got no idea whether I'm going to be going anywhere or not on this, so we'll find out when we get there. First leg on this trip then was down to Barcelona. We flew across the Channel, down France and over the Pyrenees into Barcelona with the flight time of 1 hour and 35 minutes at a cruising altitude of 37,000 feet. If you're not subscribed already, it would be great if you could hit that subscribe button. I do crazy trips like this all the time, and I'd love to share them with you. Thank you, bye-bye.
Thank you.
So my flight out of here then to Zurich doesn't actually leave until 7:45 in the morning, and it's only going up till 7 o'clock at the moment, so so I've got a night here. I could have stayed in a hotel, but when I've just paid £37 for a flight to the US, spending a lot more than that on a hotel seems to be a little bit frivolous, so I'm going to try and find somewhere to get my head down for a bit and hopefully spend the night here at Barcelona El Prat Airport. So here's somewhere that seems relatively quiet. Other people are sleeping around here as well, so I may try and get here. Unfortunately, these seats aren't the best because they have kind of arms. So it may be the floor. Okay, so this is not the most comfortable, but it's free, so we can't really complain. Bag makes a nice pillow. It's still kind of evening here in Barcelona, so see how much sleep I can get down here. Good night. 5 in the morning. That was a dreadful night's sleep, to be honest. Awake every hour or so, I guess. The floor is just so uncomfortable, but it's been nice and quiet. The airport's starting to wake up a bit now. People are milling around, so I'm running to see if I can check in and maybe get to a lounge and get showered and get some breakfast, and hopefully enough time to sleep on the long haul flight today, if we get on the long haul flight today. Let's go and find out. it was time to head airside to find out whether or not they would let me get on board a flight that I'd paid just £27.50 for. And so the big moment had arrived. Would I be able to get on board the first flight of the day on my £27.50 flight? I was in. Well, as far as Zurich anyway.
Hello, grazie. Grazie. Grazie.
Right on board, looks like we're going to Boston. Or should I have said at least Zurich? I mean, I still had another 2 flights to go before I got to Boston. Next leg of my journey then took me up to Zurich. We flew across the Mediterranean, coasting in over the south of France and crossing the Alps into Zurich with a flight time of 1 hour 31 minutes and a cruising altitude of 36,000 feet. So then, here in Zurich, made it this far at least. Just about to board my next flight then over to Montreal. Can't believe this whole trip has cost me just like 37 quid. It's crazy. I feel like I've got my money's worth already, but I've got a long haul flight now over to Montreal, Canada with Swiss on an A330. Time to see if I'd be able to get on board the longest sector of this trip.
Hello.
Thank you. So here I was then, boarding a transatlantic flight for just £27.50.
Hello, Gracie.
Hello, welcome.
Thank you.
40k at the other side to the right.
Thank you. Hello.
Hi, you're welcome on board.
On board the Swiss A330 to Montreal. 27 quid this flight, crikey. Hopefully. Not sure if I'm going to get an aisle passenger next to me or not, but yeah, it's not too bad. Lucky for me, the aisle seat remained empty, so I had 2 seats to myself. I thought my day couldn't get any better. Well, that was until the captain came on and introduced himself as Captain Roger Cock. The longest sector of this trip then took me across France and just off the southwest coast of England before crossing the Atlantic. We coasted in over Newfoundland before crossing New Brunswick and into Quebec, where we started our descent into Montreal. Flight time today was 7 hours and 47 minutes at a cruising altitude of 36 and 38,000 feet. So now about 3 hours into the flight, we've got about 5 hours remaining now ahead of our arrival into Montreal. We're somewhere over the Atlantic, and I have to say, enjoying the flight so far. It's really good. I had a really nice meal, a couple of glasses of wine, watched a bit of TV, about to sit down and watch a movie as well. I mean, for the price I've paid, really I can't complain. This is just really good. And it's relatively comfortable too. I've got no seatbelt, nobody at the side of me in the next seat, so it's pretty comfortable. Just chilling for a few hours ahead of the arrival into Montreal. But hey, for the price I've paid, this flight from Barcelona to Boston was like £27.50, so I can't really complain. In total, £37.50 for the whole trip. It takes me a couple of nights to get there, that's fine. And to be fair, they could ship me in the cargo hold for that price and I probably still wouldn't complain, although I probably would, knowing me. A couple of movies and several more glasses of wine later, we were approaching the Newfoundland coast of Canada. It wasn't long before we were commencing our approach into Montreal, and Captain Cock brought us in for a smooth landing around an hour ahead of schedule.
Thank you, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks a lot, bye-bye.
Goodbye. Take care.
I was in Canada. Well, almost. I still had the mammoth queue for immigration and a rather grumpy immigration official to win over before I was officially in Canada. So then here in Montreal, Trudeau Airport in Canada, and I have to say, first impressions not that great. I thought America was supposed to have the reputation for having the rudest immigration people, which I've never really found personally, but having come through Montreal now, I think that's completely wrong, and I honestly believe that Montreal Airport has the rudest immigration staff. I essentially went to the machine, spot my passport, got to the next bit where the guys are waiting, and he looked at me and he nodded, and I thought that meant to go towards him, and then he just started dressing me down in front of everybody. And he said, did you never learn that you need to stop at a stop sign? I was like, what? A little bit confused, and it turns out that I'd obviously missed some sort of sign somewhere, but he was just being a complete asshole about it, to be honest. There was no need for that. And then he started going on, he was quizzing me as to what was in my bag and the value of my camera gear and all the rest of it. I was like, really? Never had that anywhere. People say that Americans are bad, but Americans always been good for me. Never had anything like this in the States or in fact anywhere else in the world I've been, so it's just crazy, but never mind. I'm here now. I've got some poutine, which is really nice. You've got to do it while you're in Canada. So I've got a night here, not entirely sure where I'm going to be staying. I've seen some nice comfy looking settees around the corner that I might go and camp down on for the night. Now I always get asked when I do these trips how I find these cheap fares and things, and this one I thought would be a great idea to tell you how I found this airfare, and it actually came through a blog. I follow a few blogs on Twitter. Secret Flying was this one. Set it to alert you when the deals come out, and that's exactly how I found this one. It alerted me. I jumped on it, booked it within like 10 minutes, and then that was it. Blogs like that are the way to go, really, the easiest way to start finding it, and that's how I got this one. I'm going to finish my poutine and I'm going to try and find somewhere to get my head down for a rest, because I am tired, I'm groggy, and I'm annoyed, to put it mildly, at the attitude of that guy, but never mind. I'm in now. Let's go and find somewhere to camp out once I've finished my poutine. So then, day 3 of my 37 quid flight to Boston, and I've not slept too bad actually on these settees. Just down here in the departure hall rather, at Montreal. Last leg now, down to Boston on an Air Canada CRJ, so looking forward to getting there. Let's go. So it's just dawned on me that I've got to go through immigration again here and deal with them again. Hopefully they'll be a little bit more friendly than they were last night, but we'll find out. Thank you. So I was hoping that the American immigration here at Montreal might have been a little bit friendlier than the dude I had last night on the way in. He was slightly better, but he was still pretty not brilliant, to be honest. Asking me a ton of questions. Why am I going to Boston? Why am I only there 3 hours? Why am I filming on the flights? Do the airlines know I'm filming on the flights? Do I have written permission off the airlines to film on the flight? I'm like, really? I've never had this problem anywhere else in the States or Canada or the most remote reaches of the world. I've never had this issue before, and here in Montreal they just seem to have all the little people with a complex working on their immigration, so I don't think I'll be coming back through here anytime soon. I'm not enjoying it, to be honest, but never mind. I know the rest of Canada is amazing, and I've flown a lot through Calgary, Vancouver, Toronto, and their guys have usually been pretty decent. People really friendly everywhere else in Canada, so just waiting for the Canada flight now on the CRJ down to Boston. I'm looking forward to getting there, to be honest, and being out of Montreal. Hello, bonjour. There we go. Thank you very much. Have a good day.
You too.
Hello, bonjour. Should be fine. So last leg, down to Boston. Finally. Let's go. Last leg on my journey then took me southeast out of Montreal and into the States, crossing Vermont and Maine before making an approach and landing into Boston. We even had a bit of a go around on approach too. Flight time today was 54 minutes at a cruising altitude of 27,000 feet. Here we are then on board the last leg of my £37 trip, 48 hours after leaving London. I'm on the last last leg down to Boston. 48 hours. 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 48 It's not been quick, and it certainly hasn't been easy, but I don't think really that you can complain for the price of £37.50 to take me from London all the way over to the States. Sure, there's quicker ways, and I could have probably got here in 7 hours on a direct flight from London, but I wouldn't have got it for 37 quid. As I head south of the border to the US, I just want to say a big shout out to this video's sponsor, Squarespace. Squarespace make it super easy to set up and host a website. This isn't like the old days of the internet where GeoCities gave you a simple website that you've filled with animated GIFs. Squarespace really do have this nailed. Squarespace can handle it all, from the domain name to your design to the hosting, social media links, optimise your SEO, search engine optimization, and building an online storefront, you know, for selling really cool merch in. Best part is Squarespace are offering you a free trial and 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain just by visiting squarespace.com/NoelPhillips and using coupon code NoelPhillips, which is, of course, my name, which isn't Paul. On approaching to Boston, we had to go around as we were getting a little bit close to the aircraft in front. It was just the icing on the cake of my fantastic value for money trip.
Local time is 9:45 a.m.
Thanks a lot, bye bye.
Have a great day. Watch
You
out for
too,
your head.
thank you. So I'd made it to Boston in the great US of A for just £37.50. That's a rootin' tootin' bargain to make even Uncle Sam proud. So then 48 hours later and I'm here at Boston, Massachusetts in the USA, all for the great price of £37.50. How cool is that? I know it's been an absolutely insane journey. It's taken me 48 hours. I could have done it in 7 had I paid several times the price, but it's been a good laugh. Even with the grumpy people in Montreal, it's not been too bad at all. So on the point of whether you can fly to the USA from the UK for £37.50, well, yeah, of course you can. The question is it worth the time to do that? Thanks very much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you next time.